everyone, Rhiannon and Samuel here with Viante, New Mexico. Thanks for watching. What I intend to do in this video is give you an overview of the special session, and it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy video. I'll try and provide some kind of outline so you know where I'm going, and if you need to skip ahead, that is great. I want to first give a timestamp. Today is Thursday, June 18th at 4:30. The special session is very much still going on. They're still in committee meetings. I just wanted to get this out to you and let you know what's the foundation of why they're in the room, what else they're considering, how today went, and the implications of this session and why you should pay attention. So that's what I'm going to cover. I'm also going to give a tutorial on if you want to watch the session through the live feeds. There's a couple different ways to do it. And then if you want to give public comment, there's differences in the chamber. So I'm going to do a screen share and share that with you. As somebody who uses the New Mexico Legislature website often, I found it a little challenging to kind of navigate my way through it. So I'm hoping that I can make that a little bit simpler on you. But first, why are we having a special session? So this past session, there was a $7.6 billion budget that was passed. And as no one is a stranger to, COVID-19 pretty much derailed a lot of local, state, federal government, and it derailed the way we live. And so our budget is facing about a $2 billion deficit. Our issue in the lack of revenue is compounded with the fact that oil and gas, the price per barrel, is a lot lower than what had been projected, both by economists and what was projected in the crafting of that $7.6 billion budget. And so what the lawmakers first and foremost have to do is balance that budget with that $2 billion hole. And they have proposals both from the Legislative Finance Committee and the executive branch that look to bring it more around $7 billion. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You said there was a $2 billion hole, so wouldn't they have to cut $2 billion from everything? Not exactly, because the lawmakers have crafted the budget in a way that would dip into our reserves to make up those deficits, and they would utilize federal funds to plug up those holes. That is the solution coming from the executive and the Legislative Finance Committee. Not to say that everyone agrees with it. We have lawmakers who want to cut that $2 billion, knowing that we are in an unprecedented time where things aren't going to bounce back just as rapidly. With oil and gas, families aren't just miraculously buy a bunch of plane tickets or travel across country and buy gas. And so we're going to see, and then tourism too, so we're going to see a decline in GRT a little bit. And so some lawmakers have argued we need to cut more, or we can't dip into our reserves as much. So that is already a really hot topic that is going to take a lot of the legislators' time and attention. Now, what else are they talking about? The governor has come out with an executive message talking about a few things. First is police reform. Given everything that's happening nationally on police reform and the protests, there are certain areas that she feels that the lawmakers need to discuss, including having cameras on police officers, not allowing the use of chokeholds, allowing the officer's discipline history to be subject to public information requests, and creating a commission on qualified immunity. She also wants the lawmakers to talk about economics and the economy. First is to remove the penalty and interests that the small businesses are facing on their property and GRT, or taxes. So their gross receipts tax and their property tax. Because their doors weren't open, businesses have voiced concern that they don't have the ability to pay that. So that's what this would do. Another one for the economy is to provide the executive branch more flexibility to, one, allow for liquor delivery, and two, to allow notaries to perform electronically. Finally, she wants to have the state investment officer be able to utilize $5 billion from the severance tax permanent fund to give loans to small businesses. Something that had a lot of work go into it, and there's a lot of interest in what the outcomes are there. Finally, she wants the lawmakers to address voting. And voting is so important this year. Not only do we have the presidential seat on the ballot, we have all 112 legislators on there. And so with people still practicing social distancing and perhaps not feeling comfortable going out in public, the governor is proposing all mail-in voting. Something that brings up a lot of emotion and has turned into a partisan politic, or a policy and a position that each side takes. So that has taken up a lot of attention leading up to this session, and I expect it to be, there to be fireworks, quite frankly. How did today go? So the Supreme Court ruled earlier this week that the public was not going to be allowed in the Roundhouse, meaning they couldn't voice their opinions, concerns, or engage with legislators in the same manner that they previously could. And that has resulted in the Legislative Council Services having to put everything online. And that has been a challenge for them, I'm sure. Having to ramp up that capability so quickly and to allow for public comment has been tough, I'm sure. I can tell you, when the session started today at noon, I've tuned into both floor sessions and a couple committee meetings, but it was not met without some challenge. It was either I couldn't log in because it said the server wasn't connecting, or it had really slow feed, because I'm sure folks from all around the state are tuning in right now, or just simply getting booted from the stream. So I didn't really know if it was my software or my fault, or it was the stream's fault. It's been tough to try and tune in and keep it up to date on what they're talking about. But what I want to do is share with everybody how you can participate and watch if you're so inclined. So let me share my screen. Sorry, this might be a little clunky, the video that is, but I want to make sure that you have the tools to figure this out yourself if you so choose. So go to nmlegis.gov, and if you're somebody who just wants to know what bills are being proposed right now, you can click on legislation. Then you want to go to the find legislation. I just had it, I'm so sorry. Find legislation, and I want to go here, 21st, and go. Oh dear. I'm wondering. So here, sorry. There it goes. I'm sorry for the technical glitch. Even me creating this video, there's technical issues. So here you can see all 24 pieces of legislation that have been introduced thus far, ranging on all those executive messages that I had outlined before and the budget. So you can click on those, you can see what is being said there, and so on and so forth. So then if you want to watch the committee meetings or the floor session, where do you go? Go to, this is homepage, nmlegis.gov, webcast. And then you can see here all the meetings that have adjourned. You're probably going to want to look for the ones that are in green, in progress. So let's just look at Senate rules real quick. And this is what you'll see. Hopefully it connects. There we go. And you'll be able to see what they're saying. It's a little difficult to see the legislator, but they're typically good at calling them by name or their county, so you might be able to identify them that way. Now let's say you're somebody who not only wants to watch, but you want to provide public comment to what's going on. There's two different ways to do this. There's two different chambers and they have two different rules. We'll start with the Senate. So you'll go to their committee. Let's just choose this, the Senate Corporations and Transportation. So I went to their committee page, and I go here to their, I click on this link, and it will pull up an email for me to send a comment in via email. The House is a little bit different. So I'll go back to committees, I'll look under House of Representatives, and let's just go to Commerce and Economic Development. They have Zoom links, and so you'll click on the link, I'll open the Zoom meeting, and you can provide your comment that way. I don't think it will allow me to open it because I'm recording this video on Zoom now. So that is how you log in. I, again, am on this website often, and I found myself bumbling around a little bit trying to, one, reacquaint myself with like in-session activities on the website, but also I couldn't exactly figure out where I can provide public comment, and so that's how you do it if you're so inclined. If you have any trouble, I am happy to help you. So the last thing I want to talk about is the implications of this session. They're huge. New Mexico is a highly impoverished state, and although $7.6 billion sounds like a lot, when it's spread out to all of our needs, it can start being thinned out a lot. And so the decisions that are being made this today, tomorrow, and the next day, you're going to see them in our schools right away, because they're going to have millions of dollars that they're going to have to cut from what their initial budget was. Or public safety, new procedures and policies that they're considering. Those are things that are going to have to be borne on the backs of the local police departments who have to pay for them. It's really, really important. And it's a lot to digest, and it's a lot to try and navigate via online, if the connection even works. So that's why we're here at Viante. We know it's a lot, and I'm doing my utmost best to tune in, stay up to date on all the reporters that are allowed to be in the Roundhouse and what they're saying, even when the news feed cuts out, and share that with you, because you have enough on your plate than to do all of this all day. So tune in tomorrow. We'll try and do another video. I'll try and provide as much information as I can. But if you, again, have any questions at all or want to know more information about something, please reach out, info@viantenm.org. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find someone that does. So thank you for watching this very long video. If you found it helpful, or if there's a portion, particularly the one going through the website, share it with someone, because the more people we can engage, the better off we're all going to be. But thank you, and I'll see you later.